Okay, here is the Q&A for Seance-ing, which you just saw as part of the Sherman Oaks Film Festival 2020. And we have Alex Angelis, the writer-director, and Vincent Cardinale. I think I said your name right. Well done. A little bit of Italian here and there. Who produced. And thank you so much for the film. I love it. And actually, I rewatch everything right before the Q&As. So last night, I grabbed our 12-year-old daughter, and I'm like, you want to see this one.
Perfect.
And,
that's the demographic.
well, I'm the demographic too. I don't know. I totally, I get it. I enjoy it.
It's true. It's for 13-year-old girls and people that were 13 at that time period in the late 90s.
Right?
So, yeah, it's very specific to demographics.
And when she was laughing, I was like, well, just imagine if Harry Styles shaved his head and looked like me. And she's like, that would suck.
And they'd be freaking out. I have to say, I have to out you a little bit. This may have been based in some truth, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, that was an obvious question. I guarantee if we were in the theater and hands were going up, I mean, first, well, by the way, I'm being a little chill because we got chatty before we started. But the filmmaking is fantastic. The directing is fantastic. The way you make it a period piece, every little touch is well done. Cinematography is great. Script is great. Like, it's a super well-made film. And it's always easy to get Q&As focused on the funness of boy bands and head shaving and crushes when your hormones are just hitting. Yeah. But the truth is, your filmmaking needs to be pointed out a bit because it's rock solid and super well done. And Lord knows, I could tell you, there's a lot of bad nostalgic films submitted to the festival. They're not all good, you know, so.
Well, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. So I guess, obviously, a hand would go up in the theater and someone would say, was this inspired by anything specific?
I mean, it's basically a true story. The slug line at the beginning, you know, says this is based on true events.
Well, come on, go into it. Tell the inspiration.
Well, I wish there was an audience. Can you guess which band it was? Can you guess?
I can't guess because I'm really old. Like, I'm probably old enough to be your dad. So I'm going to guess New Kids on the Block. Is that too old?
Just after.
So it was the band Hanson. Remember Mbop?
Oh, of course I remember Hanson.
And they all had the long hair. Yeah.
Yeah.
And apparently, what's his name? What's the guy's name?
Taylor.
He did actually cut his hair.
Yeah, and it was such a betrayal, you know, because they were just made fun of. I mean, they were super popular, but there was also like this faction of people that like hated on them because they, you know, looked like girls or whatever and did their own thing and were from Oklahoma and we, the friend group that were obsessed with them were like, they are doing it. They're our age and they're, you know, just doing their own thing. They write their own music, play their own instruments. They wear their hair the way they want. And so the haircut was like, oh man, I thought we were into this together, man. Like, and then we just realized it was a haircut. So.
Yeah, but actually you're pointing out that like, now you've got the wheels turning in my head. And I mean, they were playing around a little bit with androgyny and they were not conforming to fashion at the time. So I could totally get like not liking the sellout, really.
Right, that's exactly it. And in fact, our lead actress, Aiden Marchese,
who's actually the daughter of the cinematographer as well, Thomas Marchese.
She, I don't know, this isn't a secret. She was really helped by me giving her the sort of replacement of Billie Eilish because she's a big fan, and I was like, imagine if Billie Eilish started dressing like Taylor Swift,
or like not doing her thing because she's got such a specific thing. That's not
and she was like, oh my god, that would be the worst, like so awful, you know. So you can sort of find whoever that is for you.
Yeah, and there's a big difference between a pop icon whose image has like a cultural meaning of rebellion versus, well, actually I shouldn't do this, but like Harry Styles just looks pretty. I mean, it's not like there's a statement behind his look, whereas Billie Eilish is clearly making
Yeah.
a pro-feminist there's more to me than my appearance statement.
Yeah, totally.
100%.
So yeah, those girls are not being shallow at all. Now you've made me realize that it's more than just he's not cute anymore.
Right.
So thank you for that.
Well, there's a lot of layers,
There are, there always are layers. I mean, the bands I worshiped back then, yeah, there was nothing worse than when someone who was a little punkish came out with like the more popish album, and you were just like, how'd you do that to me?
Yeah.
It's very personal.
It is, right? Well, so Hands in the Theater going up. So did you decide you wanted to make a short film and then this idea came up, or did this idea come up and you wrote it out and said, hey, this would make a great short?
I think that the idea came up. I had it in my head for a long time. It was just this like little vignette, because it was just this idea of like gathering and processing something, and we called it a seance, even though we didn't, conjure any spirits. But
it can be a little bit confusing because people assume seance means someone's dead and ghosts. But for them, I guess at 13, seance would just meant you light a bunch of candles and you go sit under the trampoline.
But I think that it can sort of process similar things. You're conjuring healing, I guess, and grieving. Connection to your friends, and like, what's our purpose? What are we gonna be? How is life gonna be? And I think it's deep stuff. But yeah, that was a very formative moment actually in my life, and so it was just sort of rattling around in my head for a long time, and then I don't know when it became a short film.
She finally wrote it down. Like it's in your brain for a while.
I think it was because of the actress. She was exactly that age, and I noticed her love of Billie Eilish, and I was like, I remember this. This is like such a moment in a girl's life. It's such like a precipice, and I wanted to make something that showed that like ledge into womanhood.
And her dad, Thomas, is an amazing filmmaker in his own right, who we've worked with before on several projects. So it only made sense. Like, well, we'll get Thomas, we'll shoot the thing, she'll write it, Aiden will be in it, and we'll get it done.
Yeah.
And so was the cinematographer one of the first people to get the script, or what was the process?
Yes. What was the process?
Well, we sent it to Thomas and asked if he would even be okay with Aiden doing it, I think. Right?
Yeah, that was the first question, actually. It's like, would you mind if your 12-year-old daughter is a movie star? And would she even be interested? She was a little bit nervous, but she just like went into it with such commitment and vulnerability, and she was amazing. So, and then the other girls too, I found them through, I sent out through friends in our community to like schools and drama departments, and I got some self-tapes, and then I held callbacks, and funny enough, just outside of the building where I was holding the callbacks at the theater at the local high school, they were having auditions or tryouts for the, what's it called? Improv troupe. And none of the people that were trying out for improv were in my callbacks, but I watched a little bit. Like I had just gotten there a little bit early, and I picked out the girl that plays Heather. Her name's Grace Kelly Conklin, and I was like, "Hey, would
Grace
you mind?"
Kelly is her name.
And she just struck me as like Heather, and then Anna Kasari Dayton, who plays Nikki, she actually saw that interaction happening and came over and was like, I want to audition too. And I was like, you have spunk. Yes, you can. And and she wasn't at all kind of what I had envisioned, but it was one of those moments where the actor just gives you the character on a plate. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I didn't know I wanted this, but it's exactly what I want. So
for sure. And your three leads are really fun and delightful and well acted and convincing, because like I can tell a 12-year-old, she pointed and goes, okay, I'd be her friend, like she'd be my friend first and I'd get to know them through her. Like there's such a I mean, if you told me the cinematographer's daughter brought in her two best friends, I would have believed you, because that's what their chemistry is like.
They hadn't known each other, actually. Yeah.
yeah.
And we didn't have a lot of time to get to know each other. We had one day to shoot all of it. So.
Right, so you shot it all in one evening, or you shot the interiors during the day and then you hit the trampoline, or?
It was a long night, yeah.
And I imagine your pre-production wasn't just shot lists and crew and stuff. I imagine you were running around grabbing old boom boxes and CDs, and thank God a cassette appears.
Yes, we did just sort of send out a text message being like, we know y'all have stuff from the 90s.
Where's your stuff?
Bring it.
And so we actually had a friend come over, Sarah Drissi, with a whole suitcase full of stuff. She had like a Magic 8 Ball and all this old, 90s
That's where
stuff.
the cassette came from.
The cassette. And then we have another friend, Marissa and Mo, who gave us a bunch of stuff. And actually, we used a lot of our friends' headshots from that time period. We have friends who were child actors from that time period. And we put them in that magazine.
Yeah, that was actually one of the most fun pre-production parts, was the photo shoot for the boy band. I mean, they are such a character in the movie too, even though it's just photos, but I cast my dream boy band. It was so fun.
Yeah, that's actually great. And I did do the old man thing last night where I said, see, that's called a magazine. And before Instagram, that's how you knew what was going on. Like it's actually a nice little what do you call that, time vault, whatever that you've unearthed. Right.
And we tried to do little details that sort of put you back there, like the dial-up internet sound, and the dial on the radio, and just kind of
fun fact, the disc jockey radio at the beginning and at the end is actually my younger brother Emerson, and his music is also the music you hear at the beginning, and my older brother Alexander Cardinale is his music you hear at the end. So they both did the music for the movie.
Yeah, and they're very influenced by the late 90s.
Yeah, that's true. Excellent. And so it sounds like you had a really nice team and a really nice community around this, and smooth shoot one day. And
long.
But what was the question? Actually, the question was gonna be, I'm too distracted by the fun of it all. I was gonna get back to, so actually the look and feel too, I think like you really captured like the look and feel of films from the time too, like the, what was that radio station movie that I was too old to see?
Airheads, where they take over the radio station?
No, the one that was like so pivotal. Okay, now I'm blowing it. It was Breakfast Club.
Empire Records?
Empire Records. It kind of has that vibe. So I was going to ask, what were there inspirations, or were you just going by memory?
I like that movie. I don't know if you've ever seen that.
I have not. I think it was, totally. I mean, so much of the credit has to go to Thomas Marchese. He's, set up the look. I kind of explained the vibe and the emotional aspects of what I wanted. And he was able to translate them. That's I love working with Thomas, because he's one of those people that can translate my gibberish of like, I want it to feel like, and then your heart gets squeezed and you're like fuzzy but sad, and he's like, yeah, got it. I can make that into lights and color. And I'm like, you're amazing.
Well, like that jib shot over the trampoline when now the Skittles on top, that's very that time period as well.
Yeah, and sort of like Now and Then, that movie was very inspirational. But it was just mostly what I remember from being that age.
Yeah.
And also we had the whole evening before, even though we only had one night because of scheduling, the girls could only be there for one night. We had the night before, we did a whole pre-production where we set up all the shots. We got the jib shots, and I played all three of the girls, and we basically shot the whole thing first before the night before, which was super helpful, which is why we were able to do it so fast on the night of.
Yeah.
Which is super helpful.
Very smart planning. And then was post a good experience? Post go well on this one?
So well. I mean, Thomas was also our editor, and Emerson did the color.
And a lot of the effects stuff.
Emerson Harris, who also sound design. We have the best scenario because we have this very tight group of friends that are all very talented and live like next door to us. So it's like a production studio.
Yeah, he lives down the hall, which is easy.
Yeah. He's part of Two Lemon Productions, which was our associate.
Oh, we should mention, Danny and Sam.
Production company, and they were kind of like our actual production and post.
Yeah, they were the whole crew, really. It was Thomas, and then it was the Two Lemon guys, which is Danny, Sam, and Emerson. And then you have Lee Holbrook, and that's the whole crew. Wasn't a big shoot.
It's funny, you almost beat me to it. The next question was going to be, because I think we're getting near our time limit, is are there people who deserve mention who you haven't gotten to name yet?
Definitely them.
Lee Holbrook was like an associate producer. He was the photographer for the magazine shoot,
and he helped design that magazine.
And he designed it and made it real, and that was such like an important part of it. Lee Holbrook is amazing and helps us with everything that we do. I also direct music videos, and
yeah, he's pretty incredible. We should give a shout out to Cheryl Trotter, who's a good friend of ours, who I grew up with. I grew up going to that house since I was in high school. And I thought of that house in that backyard. I knew that a trampoline. I said, that's going to be the perfect house. So I approached her, and she had never had shot anything in her house before. So she was a little bit open to it, which is a little dangerous prospect. And she didn't quite understand how much it was going to really involve. And bless her heart, she was very, very sweet about it. I think halfway through, she was like, "Oh my God, what are we doing? My house is being overrun." But at the end of the day,
but she still made us spaghetti.
She provided all the food. She was our catering. She was fantastic, and so she deserves a lot of credit for being so brave and allowing us to overrun her home. But by the end of it, she said she would do it again, even though it was a lot.
That's movie magic, Bree.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and that says a lot about you as a production team. That because I think in general, most locations, even when they're a friend, are like one and done. So the fact that you'd be willing to do it again really says a lot about how thoughtful you were. So
well, we tried. I mean,
I hope so.
That's the goal.
And that carries on screen and off. I kind of have to stop recording because I knew we went long, but it was a pleasure, and congratulations on making a really great film.
Thanks, man. Are you based in Sherman Oaks?
I am. Not only that, well, I'll tell you after I hit. I'll hit stop recording, and then we'll keep chatting.
Okay, cool.
If you feel like it.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks.